Hello, today we're going to show you how to operate the crop management part of the software. And we have already logged in. We're on the home screen, as you can see here. And we have our grow site number one, our drying barn. And on grow site number one, we see that we have needed actions. We can also see that by going to the required actions tab across the top, and we can either click here or click here to go to our required actions. So I'm going to go across the top. I always like going through the main menu. So when I click on that, it goes to required actions, and I'm going to select my grow site. I'm the Practice Hemp user, and I've got my license, and here's my grow site. So I'm going to click on that, and here it shows me my options for using the software. I can report a planting. I can report a harvest when that time comes. I can report disposal when that time comes. I can report or ask for a sampling request when I'm within 30 days of the sampling. So today we're going to focus primarily on planting and also on FSA field numbers. Most of you should know by now that for every variety that you plant on a plot, this is a 5-acre plot, and I'm going to plant 5 different varieties, I must have an FSA field number. FSA stands for Farm Service Agency, and it is part of the USDA. And in almost every county in Indiana, there is a Farm Service Agency person in your county, and you will make an appointment with them and you will set up where your field is, where your tract of land is, where the farm is, and then you'll set up a field number and a subfield number. And the way the USDA wants that is your subfield number is one of your varieties on that tract of land. So if I've got a 5-acre field and I'm planting 5 varieties, and say this first variety I've already put in an FSA field number, the first variety I planted on 1 acre, well, that's going to be an FSA field number on that 1 acre. Today I'll plant varieties number 2 and 3 to show you how to do that. And each one of those will have a separate FSA field number because it's on the same farm, on the same tract of land, in the same field, but they will be different subfield numbers because they are different varieties. So we'll show you that. Also notice here under required action summary, I have planted half an acre of this test variety and I've not harvested or disposed of anything. So I've got a half an acre that I have to match up by the end of the year. So the difference needs to be 0 by the end of the year. So unless you are very precise and can stay very precise, don't put that you planted 1.315 acres. Put 1.3 acres so that you're accurate and we can be accurate and you can match that up by the end of the year. Also, FSA field numbers must be recorded by July 15th. If you're an indoor grower and you plant after July 15th, you must report your FSA or report your planting to the FSA within 15 days of your planting and get your FSA field number and then put that in here. And then also required reporting is still needed. So you'll see what you still have to do. And this will change as you go through the season. So the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to plant another variety. So I'm going to come down here to the bottom of the page. Here's the top of the page. I'm going to come down to the bottom of the page, the plus sign, and I'm going to report a planting. And it brings up a box for reporting a planting. The type, yep, I'm going to plant. I'm going to say I planted today. And this is March 17th. So I planted March 17th, got out there early and got a variety planted. And then my total acreage I'm going to plant is 1 acre. One thing to keep in mind when you are doing this, square footage should only be the square footage that you're actually planting. We know we have some indoor grows that have listed their entire greenhouse space under their planting or under their grow, and you should only put the amount of square footage or acreage that is involved in the hemp business of your farm or your greenhouse, not the whole greenhouse. So I'm going to record the planting here. So I've got a planting. Here's my latitude and longitude on the farm. It's a 5-acre farm. It's in Adams County. I've got a grow site 1 that I called it. Here's my name and here's my license number. I'm going to go ahead and record that. So I've recorded that, and now takes you back to the main page. You see the green bar across the top saying the required action was successfully recorded. And here I've got 1.5 acres now planted. So now I'm going to plant one more acre here. And I'm going to plant again. And today I'm going to plant, say I planted yesterday. This is one, we had some decent weather yesterday. I went ahead and planted, and I'm going to do this one as a 1.5 acres. I'm going to do an acre and a half on this one. So now I've got 3 acres planted. I have shown no harvest or disposal on 3 acres. The disposal, if your crop gets too weedy, if your crop doesn't grow right, you can do the disposal during the year. On harvest, you want to wait until you've actually harvested and it shows a compliant crop. So here you go. Here's the update. Now, I'm going to put in FSA field numbers, and this number will be assigned to you by your local county FSA, Farm Service Agency. Again, the Farm Service Agency is in your county at the USDA Service Center for your county. So I'm in Tippecanoe County, and that's going to be in Lafayette. So that's where I would go. But in your county, if you're in Marion County, that's going to be in Indianapolis. If you're in Bartholomew County, that's probably going to be in Columbus. There are a few more rural counties where the FSA office is shared between a couple of counties, and that's just fine. You're going to look up the USDA Service Center for your counties online. So I'm going to record FSA field numbers now, and again, these are reported to me. So test variety number 2, I planted that one. I planted an acre. So I'm going to do my field number, and these are made up field numbers here. They may look like this, they may not. And I'm going to say that's subfield number 3. Now, test variety number 3, I planted yesterday, and boy, I was on top of it. I went to the FSA office today. I got the field number, so I'm going to put in that field number and subfield number. The way this works is the first number is going to be your tract number or your farm number. Second number also tract or farm number. Then the third number is your field number. So if you only plant one variety on your farm, you won't have the 4th number. The 4th number is your subfield number. So I've put in my FSA field numbers for this location, these 5 acres. I've got my 3 in there, and I'm going to record that. Are you sure you want to record? Because once it's recorded, you cannot go back and change that. So the only thing that can be done is if you actually made a mistake, you can get a hold of us and we will make the change for you, but you cannot change it on your end. So yes, I want to do that. And now I've planted these spaces. FSA field number will show up here after it's been verified, and I'm good to go. I've got my test variety 1, test variety 2, and test variety 3 with my field numbers. I'll come back later and plant test variety 4 and 5 if I have enough good weather and if I can get enough seed, those type of things. So we realize you're not going to plant it all on the same day. So this was a planting on 3 different locations. So, or 3 different particular spots on the same farm. Okay, I'm back on the home screen now. And so the headings across the top, home, apply, companies and licenses, site sharing, required actions, and sampling and disposal. The site sharing is a new feature that growers have been asking for a couple of years. We're able to build it in to the site. So I'm going to click on site sharing. It's a pretty simple little page. I'm going to select my grow site, Practice Hemp User Grow Site 1, and it shows the Grow Site 1 right here. I've agreed to share that license information here. If I want to update or opt out of it, I just click that button. But when I go to Grow Site, I'm going to click on that button that I want to share my grow site. This circle is a 25-mile radius. So we only have a few test sites in here, but you can tell at this point that you've got to grow about 50 miles away over here, and nobody within my 25-mile radius. This shows me exactly where my site is. If I want to adjust the viewing radius, I click on adjust the viewing radius, and it shows you the state of Indiana and all the grow sites that are shared. Yours is only going to say grow site, whatever you call it, your name for it. So if you have Tippecanoe 1, it'll say Tippecanoe 1. But when you click on somebody else's grow site, let me get rid of that one. It's going to say what it is, when it was planted, and the address of that grow site in the county. So, and it's going to say who that is. So these are researchers that are doing this testing site. This is for us to do testing. So it's going to tell you who it is, where they're at, and what they're growing it for. So edible grain. The reason we're doing this, the reason it was asked for, is that people want to know about pollination and whether they're going to cross-pollinate their CBD crops or cross-pollinate their edible grains. So this is something that you opt into. It does not go anywhere else outside of this screen. We don't publish a list of these grow sites. We only use it so that you can see who's in your area and could possibly cross-pollinate you. So that's the area. Again, adjust viewing radius takes it from a 25-mile radius to a entire state of Indiana radius. So again, just to follow up, that's site sharing, and that allows you to share your site and see everybody else that has shared their site. Definitely not something you have to do, but something we think will help the growers and help the industry in Indiana.